Hello there, everyone. It's me, Justin, your Eagle Skipper, here with episode 10 of Journey to the Top here with Middlesbrough FC. And since you were with us, we've gone straight through January and we're facing Chelsea in the Premier Division. And if you look, we are sitting ninth in the league, 2 points outside of Europe. I don't know how this has happened, but we've gone on a good run over the past few weeks. After beating Walsall in yesterday's episode, we hammered West Ham 5-1 with Wilf Bolton getting a brace, Jed Spence getting a goal, McCann getting a goal, Dario Radis getting a goal. Don't know why he's not showing up here. There he is. I just can't see it. That's fine. But then we drew 1-1 against Leeds. We got McCrory sent off in the 60th minute, and then they scored in the 90th minute. So it was really disappointing to not come away with all 3 points in that game, but ultimately it was a good enough performance. Then we went and beat Aston Villa 2-1 before losing 3-0 against Brighton. And so this run of games is extremely lucky, because if we take a look at our squad, Madur has been on international break in the Africa Cup of Nations. So our leading strikers out on international break. Muez Hassan, our starting goalkeeper, is also out on that break. And Darren Dreyer got an injury. If you take a look at his injury, he got an injury in training the day after the game against Walsall. So all of this has been happening with basically our second team, with Wilf Bolton being the only first team regular who has been playing in attack at the very least. So that's about where we are. Dreyer hasn't made a game. I think he made one substitute appearance in the last one against Brighton, because nobody was playing well. Greg Taylor, horrific performance. But of course, another injury was Lowe. Can't find him right now. He's right there. He's getting back, but he got injured and had to be taken off pretty early. Simon Riley has been underwhelming in his attempt to spot Hassan. But another bit of news. Just take a look at our transfer histories. We were able to bring in Thiago de Benedito from Boca in Argentina. Either-footed, driven center back. Already is our best defender. And, I think he'll be a wonder kid by the end of the season if we just look at, my goodness. But yeah, if we take a look at the transfer, we only paid $1 million this season. So the other 31,000 is over the next few seasons. So I wouldn't be surprised if we have no money to spend with the Madura transfer and with this transfer as well. So we're lucky to have him, but he's likely going to not hamper, but dampen our ability to perform in the future. But yeah, let's take a look at the team that we're going to be putting out to face Chelsea. We're going to have Riley in goal, a back four of Lowe, Di Benedito, McCrory, and Mensah, with Svanberg and McCann ahead of them. Radis in attacking midfield with Bolton and Spence out on the wings, with Kavanagh up at the front. That's the best that we've got at the moment. So let's get our opposition instructions in. Let's hit early crosses. That's fine. Let's just go ahead and get into this Chelsea game. Hopefully we can get a result against a team who are in the Champions League spots currently, but we did beat at their own stadium, and this is our home stadium, so hopefully we should be able to get a result. Just a draw would be all that I would ask of the team. I'm just going to give them some faith and tell them, we're just gonna get into this game. We're sitting in our red home uniforms as this game gets kicked off. And with our second team in attack, all we can really expect is one goal from them, maybe. But really we're just looking for our defense to not have Svanberg do that, as Chelsea ultimately wasn't able to punish us there, but Svanberg really needs to track back a little bit more, maybe not miss the header, maybe even try for a kick. Yeah. But Chelsea's on the attack once again. Di Benedetto wasn't able to get his head onto the ball, and Svanberg is getting shown up by the Chelsea player as the same player who missed again. I'm not saying their name, because if I say their name, they will score. But I mean, as it stands, we have more shots on target, same amount of shots as Chelsea. XG is much lower, but we see another highlight. Svanberg is able to get it up to Kavanagh this time, who plays it through to Spence, gives it back to Kavanagh, and Kavanagh scores, beating him at the near post. Callum Kavanagh's 7th goal of the season. Wonderful strike from the backup utility man in attack. I mean, let's just watch this. Svanberg was able to use his foot. Look, he's a lot better using his foot than he is with using his head. And Jed Spence just wisely gives it back to Kavanagh after noticing that both the defenders had come back to defend him. Wonderful team play, and that moves us up into 8th position. Level on points with Leeds, but a couple goals behind, so we'll have to get a couple more on Chelsea to supplant Leeds in 7th place. But, I mean, let's just have the ref blow the whistle now, because they don't need to score. We don't need to score anymore. I'm fine with the goal difference being what it is. I just want the game to end with the points, as Svanberg is completely turned around and McCrory plays poorly. Riley was able to save the effort by that same striker, who shall remain nameless, and he gets the ball out, wanting Bolton, who has like 16 aerial ability or jumping reach, so there's no real doubt that he was going to get a hold of that. He does well to keep a hold of the ball, puts in a shot, but as the case is with all wingers, it just hits the side netting. Good enough. We still got the lead. That's what matters at this point. So yeah, I forget who we have on the bench. Lowe is struggling for fitness, so Palmer Brown can come on for him. Palmer Brown probably will be coming on for him. Yes, let's press that one defender who shall remain nameless. Maybe make McCrory a bit of a cover defender. Just move him back a little bit, not have to use his head quite as much. Bolton is really shattered. I mean, he's had to carry the team in the absence of his fellow Wonder Kids in the front. So he's probably going to stay on, because we need the attention that he draws away from the other players. Give the fans a performance to cheer for. Tell them they weren't bad but can improve. And that's inspired quite a number of players, so that's wonderful. And we'll get into this second half as Spence is about to take a throw in, gets it to Svanberg, gives it back to Spence, who whacks it off the defender and isn't able to track back for it, though McCrory is able to step up, gets it up to Mensah. Mensah threads through Spence. Spence beats one man, puts the cross in for Kavanagh, who hits the defender, and Bolton is going to track that one down, kicks it back to Lowe. Lowe gives it back to Bolton, who has worked his way inside, puts in a pass for Kavanagh, but it was just a little bit too far ahead of him, and the keeper was able to collect that, as the defenders are playing him onside as he's marking the keeper. And McCrory, once again, I can't even get the words out because that was just extremely poor. Riley does fantastic to keep the ball out of the net from that same Chelsea striker, who is still without a name. Yeah, as we watch a corner from Chelsea, Di Benedetto is able to get his first touch on ball from from one of our videos. Yeah, that's the word, as Riley is able to collect the ball there nicely. Good job from him. I told him he was being a little bit underwhelming right before this game, and he's trying to prove me wrong, wanting to keep his spot in the team when Hassan comes back from international duty. I mean, to be real, Hassan is going to keep his spot as the number one, but Riley is showing that he has what it takes to do a job in the Premier League, which is fantastic to see, as Svanberg kicks it out to Lowe, who, I mean, the crowd is completely silent until the ball gets 3/4 of the way down the pitch, and Di Benedetto went too far forward there, and now Chelsea is in behind, and a different nameless striker from Chelsea misses the mark completely. Who are we going to bring on for Bolton? We've got either Betts or Powell that will come on. Let's bring on Betts for Bolton. Bolton not playing particularly well, especially when compared to the other players in attack, and as the ball for some reason gets sent to the far post, even though I have the instruction set to the near post. We see Betts get his first touch of the game. The ball goes over to Spence, back to Svanberg, who finds Betts, who wants to put in a shot, and does. James Betts, second goal of the season, scores in the highest level of English soccer there is. Great stuff. I mean, Betts really showing that he deserves to be playing more for us. He's been spending a lot of time in the under-23s because of our intake of Masur. But Betts showing he wants a chance. A number of teams wanted to loan him, but because of our injury crisis with Dreyer, I didn't feel comfortable sending him out on loan, though. When all of our players come back, I probably wish I had done that. Who else? Let's take a look at other changes we're going to make. We're going to bring on Pearson, or Seville. Let's bring on Seville for McCann. He hasn't played a whole lot, and we'll maybe take off Radis here next for Powell. Yeah, we'll do that. No need for Dreyer to come on. We'll just let him nurse back his injury. As we see a highlight for Chelsea, as the crowd went silent, Di Benedetto tracks back and does a good job to block that cross. Can't get the second one blocked, but the ball gets cleared up to Kavanaugh, who gets dispossessed way too easily, and the ball is now back with another unnamed striker who is able to finally beat Riley from way too far out for Riley to miss that. So you're going to hope that we don't completely fall apart here in the waning minutes of this game. I'm just going to lower our tempo a little bit and shorten our passes a tad as well, just to hope that not change our mentality or anything, just to slow down the game. Let us nurture this lead into the waning minutes of the game. Maybe put some time wasting sometimes for the last 3 minutes, but keep everything else the same. As we get 5 minutes of added time, now we're going to bump up our time wasting even further and hope to see out this game without completely ruining our club, as we have done it. We have beaten Chelsea for the second time this season with our second team, no less. Good job, boys. Inspiration and motivation all around. Let's see what the media says. Obviously, don't like seeing your side concede goals. Okay, that was a good goal. I will admit, that was a good goal. And it sees us move up into 8th place, 1 point behind Brighton, who have beaten us twice this season. But our next match is against Bournemouth, so we should be able to get a couple more points, at least 1 point from that game, as Dreyer does successfully return into full training. He's probably going to spend some time on the bench for the next game, just because we've got some people doing well. Also, Gavin Treacy is an Italian and Irish winger that we brought in over the summer. He's been playing really well at Hull. Probably should be in the championship with that kind of performance in League One, but we'll we'll let him continue to build up his consistency. That's what we'll call it. We'll say we're building up his consistency. So yeah, in tomorrow's episode, I am eyeing this Tottenham game in the FA Cup. We'll have this FA Cup 5th round game against Tottenham. I'll show you some more FA Cup matches this season. So yeah, hopefully that's not the end of our cup run, because we could use the money, even though we're doing pretty well with our overall balance. And I mean, we're sitting 8th in the Premier League. I think it's going to take a monumental collapse for us to get relegated at this point, but because we're doing so well. But yeah, that's going to do it for today's episode. If you enjoyed that, go ahead and leave a like, drop a comment if you want to name one of our new youth intake players who should be coming around the time of the next game, and subscribe if you'd like to continue to join us on our journey to the top.